Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we are group 8. So today we're going to explain about what is entrepreneurship in education. With a group member, with me myself Dianda Putri and my friend.
And, and my name is Dianda.
And me FURKORN CT.
Okay. For the first one, we are going to talk about the terminology of entrepreneurship in education. So there are actually two terms of this, which is enterprise education. This is commonly used in the UK, and it focuses on personal development, builds mindset, creativity, confidence, and also to develop skills like teamwork and problem solving. And this is for all students, so the focus is broad. And then the second terms is entrepreneurship education. It is commonly used in the United States, in the US, and it focuses on starting a business. And we also learn how to create and manage a venture. And it prepares the student to become the entrepreneurs, and it more specific and business oriented. And because these two terms are closely related and sometimes can cause confusion, so some researchers use a broader term called entrepreneurial education. So this is actually this term actually includes both enterprise education and entrepreneurship education. So it combines personal development and business development. And then the next slide, please. The next slide is about wide and narrow views of entrepreneurship. So, entrepreneurship is a process of creating value. So, entrepreneurship does not only mean starting a new business, it can also happen inside an existing organization, or it can happen when individuals and teams identify opportunities and take action to create something valuable. And Bruyat and Julian explain entrepreneurship is a process where involving several important elements, and this includes the entrepreneur, the value created, the environment, and the process over time. The core of entrepreneurship is the interaction or dialogue between the individual and the new value created. And then the environment also plays an important role. The environment influences the entrepreneur, and at the same time, the entrepreneur also influences the environment. And this shows that entrepreneurship is dynamic and interactive. And in education, there are two view or perspective, which is narrow view, entrepreneurship education, and wide view. And in narrow view, it focuses on finding business opportunities and starting a company, self-employment, and business growth. And in wide view, it is focused on personal development, creativity, initiative, self-confidence, and taking action. And therefore, entrepreneurship in education focus on developing students' ability to create value, identity, opportunities, and take action in different situations. And then the next slide, please. So, here is about educating about, for, and through entrepreneurship. In entrepreneurship education, there are three main approaches. They are teaching about entrepreneurship and teaching for entrepreneurship and teaching through entrepreneurship. So the first one, teaching about entrepreneurship, it focuses on the theory and the knowledge. Students learn what entrepreneurship, its concept and its importance, and then this approach helps students to understand entrepreneurship in general. So it is the most common approach used in university. And then the second one is teaching for entrepreneurship. So this is focused on preparing students to become entrepreneurs. This approach teach practical knowledge and skills such as how to start a business, how to identify opportunities, and how to manage a business. And the goal is to prepare the student to for entrepreneurs shape as a career. And then the third one, the last one, is teaching through entrepreneurship. So this is focused on learning by doing. So students learn through real experience and then activities. For example, student may create a project or solve real problems or run mini businesses. And this approach helps students develop important skills like creativity, initiative, and problem solving. So, however, there are some challenges in using these three approach. Uh, this includes limited time, lack of resources, teacher readiness, and assessment difficulties. But overall, these three approaches will help the students to understand entrepreneurship and prepare for entrepreneurship and develop entrepreneurial skills through experiences. Yeah, I think that is my part, and the next part will be continued by my friend.
Okay, so here I will explain about value creation as the common point. There are many different definitions of entrepreneurship. Because of this, it can be confusing, especially for teachers. So this report used a value creation based definition to make it clear and easier to understand. And in simple words, entrepreneurship means acting on ideas and opportunities, creating value for other people. The value can be financial, social, and cultural. And in education, entrepreneurship is not only about starting a business, it is about students creating value for others. So students learn better when they work on real ideas, solve real problems, and create something useful for people outside the classroom. And this learning method is called learning by creating learning. And even if students' ideas don't work well, they still develop important skills in both creativity, learn problem solving, and build confidence. So students learn entrepreneurship by creating value for others, not only by studying. And here it's about two kinds of value creation. There are two types of value creation. The first one is routine value creation. This means doing things in the usual way. It focuses on process optimization and small improvement. This type of value creation helps an organization work smoothly and correctly. It is connected to operational competence or skills for managing daily tasks well. And for example, improving classroom activities to make them more effective, but without changing the main method. And the second one is explorative value creation. This means creating something new. It focuses on new ways of working in fashion, new ideas, or new product, and continuous learning. Also, this type is more creative, but it brings new opportunities. It is connected to entrepreneurial competencies like skill, creativity, problem solving, and innovation. And for example, creating a completely new learning activity or project that has never been used before. And simply word, routine value creation is improve what already exists, and explorative value creation is create something new. And this is about entrepreneurial competencies. The main goal of entrepreneurial education is to develop entrepreneurial competencies. There are knowledge, skills, and attitudes that help a person create new value. They influence a person's willingness or wanting to do something, and ability or being able to do something. And two types of competencies. The first one is cognitive competencies. They relate to thinking skills and knowledge. They include intellectual skills, learning skills, and knowledge. And these competencies are easy to teach, easy to test, and usually learned in class. And for example, learning business concept, theory, or strategy. And the second one is non-cognitive competencies. These are related to attitude, behavior, and personal quality. They include social skills. These competencies are hard to measure the through experience and learning by doing. For example, working in a group, solving problems, and facing the challenge. And so cognitive competencies is knowledge and thinking skills, and non-cognitive competencies is personal attitude or skill or social skill. And here is about the debates around entrepreneurial education. There is a discussion about how education should be taught. Some people support traditional education and others support entrepreneurial education. And for traditional education is teacher center or teacher is the main focus. So the focus on content and exam, mostly passive learning or students listen and take notes, and also based on one subject only. In this system, students usually learn by memorizing information and preparing for tests. And the second one is entrepreneurial education. This is student center, or students are the main focus based on active and experiential learning or learning by doing, and project-based and collaborative or working in group, and use a multidisciplinary approach or combine different subjects. And in this system, students learn by solving real problems and working on projects. And the debate on today, the education system still focuses a lot on testing, measurement, and grades. So this creates tension when schools try to include entrepreneurship because entrepreneurship needs creativity, teamwork, and real world, or not only exam. And traditional education is focused on exam and theory. Entrepreneurial education is focused on action, project, and real experience. The various between the two. That's all. My explanation, and the next will be explained by me.
Okay, in our process, entrepreneurial education is similar to problem-based, project-based, and service learning because it uses real-work activities and then teamwork. However, it is different because it focuses on opportunity recognition, innovation, and creating real value for people outside the classroom. So students interact with external stakeholder and face real uncertainty, which increase motivation, engagement, and deep learning. In comparing with other approaches, compared to problem-based learning or PBL, and then project-based learning and surface learning. The similarities, real-world problem, then teamwork, active learning, long-term project. And then next slide, please. In future perspective, in the future, entrepreneurship in education needs clearer definition and better integration into the curriculum. It should not only focus on business, startup, but also on broader value creation. Developing practical assessment method and blending theory with action-based learning will be important challenges. In the future perspective, future expectation have clearer definition, less confusion in terminology, stronger collaboration between education and entrepreneurship, and then better integration into curriculum. And then that's all for me. Thank you. Oh, again, conclusion. In conclusion, entrepreneurship in education include both a narrow view of business creation and wide view of developing entrepreneurial competencies. The core education learning by creating value students can develop important skill, increase motivation, and become better prepared for a complex work. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. And so that's all our presentation about what is entrepreneurship in education for today. So the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.